everyone, I'm Keli'i with Leolani Ukulele, and first off, I want to thank you once again for coming to our channel on Thursday, every Thursday, and watching us teach you a lesson on the ukulele. And so like always, you can like us on Facebook, you can follow us on Twitter, and in the comment section below, you can ask us any question you want, and we'll try to answer it in future videos. And so today's topic is going to be the ukulele parts, from the head to the butt. And so I'm going to start off that way because it's easier for me and for you. So let's get started. So first off, we have the head of the ukulele, or called the headstock. And so what's cool about the headstock of the ukulele is that luthiers can kind of change up and customize their headstocks however they want with the shape. So we have this shape for the Leolani ukulele. And so on the headstock, you can also put the name of your brand, a symbol, or some kind of inlay to make your ukulele stand out. So that's the headstock. And so based in the headstock, we have what we call the pegs. And these simply hold the strings and tune the ukulele to whatever tune that you want it to hold. So these are the headstock, and this is the pegs. Next up, we travel down and we see the nut. So this is what we call the nut of the ukulele. And what it does is it lifts the strings so it doesn't touch the fretboard, and also it separates the strings like so. Then we have the neck of the ukulele. So going down from the headstock, connecting the headstock to the body is the neck. So this part here, down to here, is what we call the neck of the ukulele. Pretty simple, head, neck, and in front, on the top of the neck of the ukulele, we have what we call the fretboard. So this board here to here, that darker wood color, is what we call the fretboard. And on the fretboard, we have the frets. So these little kind of silver looking things, these are what we call the frets. Now what are the frets? Well, the frets are there to kind of separate the sounds of the ukulele. It creates the scales of the ukulele. So depending where you are on the frets, it will sound differently. So for example, so by playing on different areas of the fret, you get different kinds of notes. And so that's the frets and the fretboard and the neck. So as we move down, we get to the body of the ukulele, the curvaceous part of the ukulele. And so the body is made up of three parts. This is basically the soundboard, which is the top of the ukulele, the back of the ukulele, obviously, and then we have the sides. So the sides go from here all the way around to right over here. So we have the soundboard at the top, we have the back, and then we have the sides. Now, the soundboard is where all the sound kind of originates from. By plucking the strings enter into the ukulele and they shape the soundboard, giving us our rich tones, our volume and projection. Next up, we have what we call the saddle. The saddle is this other white piece right here, and it kind of works together with the nut of the ukulele. So the saddle and the nut lift the strings up so that they don't touch the fretboard, therefore it doesn't buzz. So that's the saddle. Now the saddle also is connected to what they call the bridge, and this is what the bridge is. So the white part is the saddle, and the dark part, ebony, usually ebony or rosewood, is the bridge. And what the bridge does is it transfers the sound from the string and all the vibrations from the string into the soundboard or the top, therefore giving the sound, projection, the tone of the ukulele. Next up, we have what we call the sound hole. And it's right here, right in the middle of the body. And what the sound hole does is it lets air out, it lets sound come out, so it lets it project out wherever it is. So if I play the ukulele like this, the sound comes right at me because the sound hole is facing me. But usually when we play like this, it's pushing out at you, the audience. And so that's the idea and the purpose of the sound hole. Next, we have what you call the strings, which string from the pegs all the way down to the bridge. And last, we have what you call pickups. So if you want to play and plug into the amps to play on sound systems or play in bands, you need to get yourself a pickup system. And so this is a pickup on this ukulele, and it's right over here. And this is what you call the pickup jack, or the part that the pickup goes into. And on most ukuleles, not all, you have what you call the EQ. What the EQ does is it allows you to modify the sounds that's coming through the amp. And so if you're on a stage playing with a band, and the band ends up playing louder, you can also turn it up on your EQ. So that's the parts of the ukulele. Now there are things that you notice on this ukulele that make it look a little bit better. So these are parts of the ukulele that are not really that functional, but they're more for aesthetic qualities or for looks. So here you have what you call the rosette. And the rosette goes around the sound toe, and in this one it's abalone. So this is what you call the rosette. So it's not really needed there, but it's there just to give it a little bit more pop or more bang for the buck. Also here on top of the ukulele, we have this black, white, black lines going around the soundboard, and that's what we call the purfling. So on the front, it's called the purfling. Once again, it doesn't add sound or take away sound, but it just adds another look and appeal to the ukulele. And last, we have what we call the binding. And the binding is what kind of seals the soundboard from the sides and the back together. So you'll find binding on the top of the ukulele, and it runs along the side. So on this particular ukulele, we have maple binding. So here's the binding. And it seals, and when they glue it together, it seals the top and the side, and then the back and the side. So that's what the binding does. But it's also good looking. So this one looks really good because it has maple binding. So that's it for this week. We have the parts of the ukulele. If you have any questions about this, ask it down in the comment section below. And like always, keep jamming and aloha.